I am Jay Lucas,
And I'm Karen Lucas.
and welcome to the Sunshine Report. You know, we're so delighted this week, as we are virtually every week, to share with you a topic that I think is very meaningful. And our topic this week is getting into flow. Getting into flow.
The flow.
The flow. I mean, there is a flow of life. There's a flow that you sometimes feel when you're actually clicking on all cylinders, and you're almost like a mindless experience because everything is becoming so easy. It's moving so slowly. You just feel like you're in flow. So it's a magical moment. It happens sometimes in sporting events. It happens sometimes maybe in your business or into other parts of your work. But somehow as you get into flow, it's really almost mystic, and you can be so powerful.
Well, I think of the word flow, in work and in personal life, is that it takes a moment. Sometimes you're working towards putting that flow together. Well, it's about the things that you do, the things that you accomplish, and then you find it just flowing. Things just sort of happen to work. Inherently, they just seem to work really nicely. And I think it takes that moment, though, to think about how do you actually work on that flow.
Well, in getting into flow is something that's maybe kind of difficult to do.
Right.
And you don't always know when it's going to come around. But I think if you can get yourself mentally conditioned to say, I am going to focus, I'm going to think about this one thing, get your mind really calm,
Yeah.
and take some deep breaths, and then just kind of feel almost elevated above yourself so that you're into that flow. And all of a sudden, it just sort of begins to happen.
Yeah. I always sometimes think about it in the way of, how when you have butter that's really hard, then all of a sudden you let it sit out a little bit and then you cut into it and there's sort of this sense of it just sort of easy on the piece of bread. And that's, to me, that's kind of a flow. It's kind of how we like to see the easiness of things that just happen in our lives. And that is the flow of our life.
Well, there's that one Frank Sinatra song that actually does capture this.
Right, it does.
It's nice and easy, does it? Nice and easy. It's not an effort thing.
Yeah.
It's very much not an effort thing at all. Becomes effortless because you're using some resources within you that you may not know you've had. You're calling upon them. And it's just very, very natural. And that's getting into flow.
It's also something about not putting pressure on yourself either, because a lot of people, things aren't working out and you get paranoid or you get anxious or you get upset. And if you just take that deep breath back, you'll see how things will actually flow for you. And I think that's key for what we talk about all the time is how do we get these things to flow? How do we make it so that we're not in a place of anger or anxiousness or
fear.
Right?
Last week in the Sunshine Report, we talked about confidence.
Right.
Getting that confidence and moving forward, advancing with confidence. And flow and confidence kind of go together in a really nice way because any amount of anxiety, fear, doubt in your capabilities to do something
Right.
will cause you to kind of get out of flow. You won't be able to do that. So you're going to stay very, very positive.
It is the holiday season right now. So sometimes we get a little anxious during this time and things don't always go the way you want them to. Sometimes they don't flow the way you want them to. And sometimes you do have to take that step back and say, you know what, it's the holidays. Just let it
go.
Right?
Easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy does it. And this is something like that.
Well, there is. And I tell you, it's all about staying positive. And of course, right here at the Sunshine Report, it is that. And as we always like to say, it's positive energy that inspires positive change that does produce
Positive results.
So have a great week. Get in the flow, everybody.
Get in the flow.